No freaking comment on that one, boys. No comment. Hey, so we're back again. It's Sunday now. I'm just kind of recording as I get chance at the bench. And I've been watching Dr. Cranky's videos building with Dark World Creation stuff too. And he is rocking that truck, man. Dude, you're rocking that truck. So, we're not really in a race here, but you know, I think we're kind of spurring each other on to build this stuff and crank out some zombie awesomeness. Alright, so what I have done, I've masked off the engine block, got some rust on there. I think I covered that previously. Now I'm just going to hit it with some hairspray. And this is just something that I swiped from the girls upstairs. So I'm just going to put some thin coats of hairspray on here. And then leave it for a while. Probably at least half an hour. Alright, so while I wait for that hairspray to dry, I am going to try some hot metal stains on the exhaust manifolds. I've painted these stainless steel with metallizers. Now I'm going to use some hot metal effects from Allclad. So I got violet, which is like a bluish, purplish color. And I have hot metal sepia, which is like a brown. So, looking at some reference pictures, when metal gets too hot, it changes color. You've seen that before. And the hottest part, or the source of the heat, is like a blue, and then it fades to like a brown. Hence hot metal violet and sepia. Sepia? Whatever. I'm Canadian, eh? I'm putting some of that purple on there. And I'm going to put just a little bit . Just a little bit. It's tricky. These parts are small. Just at the root where it joins into the engine block. And I'll grab the other one. So again, just a little bit. I'll maybe put a little bit, well, that'll be enough. So it's just got a tinge, just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's kind of a bit too much maybe. Life goes on. Now I'm going to swap colors. And now the idea is to feather that not exactly where the purple was, but behind it. Not too bad. I see I've got a little bit of a mold line that I forgot to get rid of, but it's going to be so buried in there that... There, that's kind of like excessive staining, but you get the idea. So yeah, it's not the best I've ever done. It works better on headers because you got like a longer pipe. You got a longer pipe to work with. No freaking comment on that one, boys. No comment. Alright, so yeah. That'll work. It just shows a little bit of stains and kind of breaks it up a bit. That'll do. Alright, the hairspray sat long enough, so let's get some blue on that. Alright. Alright, so nice shade of blue. The color scheme for this car is blue and yellow. The body's going to be yellow, kind of like a Hornet. And blue and yellow look nice together. So we're going to start with this guy. Slowly let it build up. That dark color underneath takes a long, it makes for taking a long time to build up your color coat. So if you're airbrushing, don't just, you know, take your time, let it build up. The color will come. It's just going to take more than 2 or 3 passes. I'm spraying at like 18 psi. I should maybe turn on my compressor. That would help. I was spraying at about 2 psi just then. So we're going to let this build up. I don't need full color coverage at the bottom, because then it can kind of act as a pre-shade too, right? If you let that dark rust tone come through a little bit, then you get that shadow of a pre-shade at the bottom. I'm not even sure if this is typically a Ford blue. I don't really care. It's blue. You can see now the color's starting to happen. One other note too, the end of this thing, you can't see that. See that? I opened that up with, I just drilled a couple holes and then used an X-Acto blade to open that up, because it's not, and it should be. Just adds some dimension, makes it a little more demented. Hope I'm not boring you, because I sit here and babble and work on models. That should be plenty, right? I know you're not. Should be good. I've got some warm water. Warm water. Big pile of it. And I've got a crappy old brush that's really bristly. So here's what I do. Dunk it. I do that sometimes. And I'm going to start with a little toothpick just to chip this off here. Now this outside part has to be painted black. I just want to try to chip some of the, well, it comes off really easy. So you can figure where the wing nut is. They would have been handling that, so that'll be chipped off. I don't want to overdo the scratching on this. Let's put a scratch, so a little bit too much on that other part there. That's all I want to do. Okay, seriously, for me, one of the hardest things about building an engine are painting these darn pulleys and belts. Now that looks half decent, thanks to these. I painted with a brush first, but I always make a terrible mess. So a silver Sharpie and a black Sharpie would work. This is a real fine point. But that allows you to go in there and clean up any kind of mess. And it's still not perfect, but it's a heck of a lot better than what it was. So just a heads up on that. Don't be too proud to use some Sharpies to fix up those little mistakes. They're a lot easier than a paintbrush. So since we last met, I have got the engine assembled, painted the top of that intake black with a Sharpie, kind of cleaned up some other stuff with a Sharpie too, started to assemble the distributor cap. I've got these little pieces cut that I'm using for the plugs, and it's just going together inch by inch, little by little. Still needs some weathering and some gunk and stuff, but we'll do that after. Hey, well that's about it for this video. I think I've got all kinds of stuff that I have to go edit, so I think I'll go start working on that now. It's Sunday afternoon, and might as well get a head start on getting this on YouTube. I'll leave you with a couple of pictures of the engine, got it all wired up, and I'll weather it in the car once it's in place. So that's it for now. I'm going to keep working on this and hopefully have another video up a bit later this week. Thanks for watching as always, and God bless you, and see you later.